Hello internet friends, today we are going to review the music from Jade Ring that is going to release a genre hopping opus called Pills, at least that and the premise that I'm giving here. Yeah, it seems really cool. I'm pretty excited for it. I did really got a lot to read because the background bio, the story of it is really interesting. It's kind of long to talk about all on this video, but I'm watching it here. I'm reading a little bit to get gain some context, and yeah, but it's pretty interesting. But let's focus on this release a little bit more. Anonymous Cleveland rock musician turned avant-garde multi-instrumentalist composer Jade Ring is releasing their debut album Pills on March 15, 2026. We got some fresh music here. Jade Ring is a one-man musical project of contradictions. Jade Ring prefers to decorate their album art and stage show with loud, bright primary colors. And they also go out of their way to avoid using their government name and hide their identity with a balaclava. At first glance, the aesthetic should be a joyful one. However, Pills is a Jade Ring working through the feelings behind the bright and beautiful facade of modern American life: addiction, automation, loss of self, and a negative view of the future. The 5-track album is best listened as a 30-minute experience and homage to times before streaming took music in general into singles or playlists. I do really hate that, to be honest. I do prefer to enjoy the albums as they are intended. I do agree with that a lot. The three main pieces, BRASH, Choral, and Ghost Machine, are bookmarked by sample layer, spoken word, and rich atmospheres. Sounds like BRASH Bob from late 90s radio rock to disco group chorus, supported by an ethereal female opera singer throughout. Ghost Machine is a treatise on artificial intelligence in the art, and the digital drum sounds tie down analog vocals and the wandering bass line that could be only produced by a human. AI is another American sickness explored in Pills. I'm massively anti-generative AI, says Jade Ring. I've always been rooted in human artistry. AI just makes me sick. I understand that. Totally understand that. Yeah, I know where that comes from. It gave me motivation to write this album. I wanted to prove I could make a great album all by myself with no AI. The wide array of sounds and genres explored in Pills were all made with live instruments and analog MIDI devices. The choral arrangement were conducted by Jade in a room with 7 real-life singers. Really nice, detailed. Yeah, Jade is a veteran of the Cleveland music scene in bands like The Missing, while also running the boutique Ghost Laboratories Record, both the best record label in the Clee Scene Awards from 2011. So yeah, pretty interesting background. Also, there is a longer story behind it. Another PDF I was reading. I do really like that. I do really like to know the artist I'm going to review. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, if you're asking which song are we reviewing, what are we going to work with, I decided to go with BRASH because it has a lyric video and made by a human. That's another really nice detail there. So yeah, we're going with BRASH because it's a lyric video, and I do really like also not only reviewing music, but when they have videos and that kind of visual media, I do really prefer that because I'm also in the video industry. I do work making videos for musicians, not only making music. And I know better the vision of the artist, what is going through their mind, not only with sound, but also watching the visuals. It lets me understand a little bit more of the concept. So yeah, we're going with BRASH, the lyric video. That's the one I decided to go with. And without much further ado, I'm gonna grab my trusty headphones and let's give it a listen.
time and the carefree time. But sometimes in these troubled days, the very thoughtlessness of youth has led to a living nightmare. Nightmare. Nightmare.
It's been almost 10 years since I last rode a sun. Almost 15 since I put the bottle down. I can barely breathe without pain. No more alcohol to overlay everything. Lost without so much, started over again and again. Yet the trauma remained. I ripped up all my prescriptions for nearly 40 years, but I needed control of my last and lasting years.
I rarely know what day it is, but I know if I missed a dose or not. With my pills I feel safe and level. Miss a dose and I become the devil. I bleed chemicals and I bleed drugs. I bleed plastic through these iron lungs. Legalize addiction in America. Just take your pills and shut your mouth.
I don't know who I am anymore. Am I an addict or so dramatic? The pills, they wash my brain until I can't feel anything at all. I don't know who I am anymore. A
I'm going for the album after this because I did really enjoy this one. Um, I'm going to be completely honest from the beginning. This is not for everyone. It's like it's not going to be your usual song, pop song, happy song that is going to be everywhere. It's not the classic commercial thing that you find anywhere. This is raw music with a really nice message, and it's pretty interesting to listen. So yeah, let's try to dissect this by pieces. Usually when I read bios or whatever, like um, let me explain, like sometimes like, yeah, I'm against AI, I'm doing this all organic or whatever, yeah, human thing or whatever. Sometimes it's a lazy excuse for bad production, but this track sounds great. It's like really well produced. It sounds like dense, it sounds powerful, sounds really great. Sounds the people that recorded this, the people behind it, Jade Ring, seems like he's the one in charge of everything, knows what he's doing. Let's just start with that. It sounds pretty awesome. I did really like the clean vocals. They're pretty cool too. I did really like the lyrics. I usually don't give any opinion on the lyrics because I don't write lyrics. I only make music, work mixing, mastering for local artists or whatever, but I don't write lyrics. I've made electronic music all my life, and when I play in punk bands when I was a teenager and in my 20s, at the beginning of my 20s, I never wrote lyrics. I always was playing guitar and doing whatever shit. But or then I moved to electronic music. I never wrote lyrics. But these lyrics are pretty interesting because they are a critic of what the US has become these years, and it's really interesting to watch. It's like, yeah, a medicated society that doesn't react to all the bullshit that is happening, and it's like waiting for the next dose, and that's a pretty nice point to expose here. So I did really like that it's expressed on a funny, chaotic way, and that's another thing I did really like from the track. It has is those chords in this minor chords, minor scale, that gave me the idea of a chaotic what's this word, I had it on my mind a second ago, and this chaotic and decadent tone to the music is pretty awesome. How the music can make you feel, and not only the lyrics, it sounds pretty decadent and crazy and chaotic. All these minor scales is used on this track, and Jade, it seems like he knows what he's doing. This is something that I do like to discuss on the reviews, or reviews where I can get deeper. This is the kind of review that I'm going deeper. I did really like those minor chords. Sounds decadent, sounds crazy, but it has some changes. The guitar solo, I wasn't expecting it. It was pretty cool. It sounds really chaotic too, because it's not that perfection you expect of a guitar solo, that or has much feeling, or is technically perfect. That's what guitarists usually go for, or whatever. This is like chaotic, embracing the chaos of the song, and doesn't care about the bends that are perfectly on tune or whatever. It's just aggression and expressing, adding to the expression of the song, this chaotic America, let's call it like that. It's pretty cool. I did really like that, and I do really like songs that are longer because they have time to tell a story. Actually, at the end, I wasn't expecting that pop twist that happened, that adds to the story, add to the song. It's like, oh, let's have this a commercial friendly part that everybody's expecting, happy music that you've said, listen and forget about it, or that kind of crap that it's give in a box and take your crap and listen and get the fuck out of here and expect the new song. I think some pop music is like that, and I think that part was a critic to it, and was pretty nice. I wasn't expecting it. Also the choir, it's adds to the chaotic thing, adds like these the masses are doing all the same, following the same, and that's pretty interesting to watch. I think that's the hidden meaning of that core, probably like the masses, and they are following like sheep, whatever. Or I think I started to imagine stuff listening to the song, and that's really cool. The kind of songs that make you think and reflect and imagine some scenarios. The video is also chaotic. I did really like the video. At the beginning, it's like this really colorful 80s glitchy aesthetic that with the balaclava that probably people are. I'm going to drop the like on the video before I forget. This balaclava thing that it's like friendly colors, but probably it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. What's this guy doing? And it's all glitchy and you can't find out or whatever. I do really like that. It's like there is some thought behind it. Reading the bio and whatever is like against the AI thingy, generative thing. The idea is to make it look human, and this like it can be like also like uncomfortable and can get creepy. But with this, what's happening, and it gives that intrigue. It's really interesting. I do really like that. I'm not 100%. Well, I don't like generative AI neither, but I'm not 100% against AI. Sometimes, especially language models, makes my work a little bit more effective sometimes. But this generative crap, I don't like it. I reviewed some AI music in the past, and even though I accept it, it's not something that I will use or whatever. But I've seen some cases that is pretty interesting. I reviewed the music from a mute rapper that had her vocal cords damaged, so she uses AI to express herself and rap and that kind of stuff. I do really think that's pretty nice because it's enabling people do something that they can't because I had disability. I do support that kind of cases, but yeah, sometimes I think like generative AI is fucking lazy, has no soul, and it's very generic. So I do agree on that, and I don't like it. But I'm not completely against, like I mentioned. I do really use some large language models for that kind of stuff, save some time, and I think it's pretty interesting. But yeah, generative crap is like something like soulless that is not pretty good yet. We don't know in the future, but I do really like this because it's mentioning that I have a human, whatever. But even if it's not mentioned, you can figure out this was made by a human because it has a lot of character, lots of identity, and it's pretty cool. Like I mentioned, I'm going after the album after this because opened my mind. It was pretty cool. I did really enjoy it. It's like, wow, this is awesome. So Jade, it's a really great artist, and this is a really nice find in my opinion. I hope the rest of the album is as good as this one because my reviews are not usually this long, but I do really like when artist makes me talk more than usual because it's interesting concept, it's something different, they are doing something different. Like I mentioned, this is probably not for everybody, but I do really love when artists are brave enough to be different. They are brave to break that wall. Like, I don't care if people think I'm cringe, or I don't care about anybody what's going to think, and I'm not going for the market or whatever. I'm just going to express myself, doing something different and doing something good as this one. So yeah, I did really like this one, man. It's not usual that I talk like so much and go so deep, but I did really like this one, and man, awesome. So yeah, thank you for sending me this, and hope you enjoyed this one. I hope to see you on another video, and yeah, I'm going for the album after this review. Thank you for sending me this. I had a great time reviewing this one. That's pretty cool. So yeah, bye.